ಶಿವರಾತ್ರೀಶ್ವರ ಗುರುವೆ ನಮೋ ಭವ ನಿವಾರಿಪ ಅಭವ ನಮೋ.
ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕುಮಾರಿ ಭಾರತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಕುಮಾರಿ ಭಾನುಮತಿಯವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಜ್ಞಾನವಾರಿಧಿ ವಿಶೇಷ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಲೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ 2020ರಿಂದ ಪ್ರತಿ ಸೋಮವಾರ ಏರ್ಪಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಬರಲಾಗುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಧರ್ಮ, ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ, ಯೋಗ, ಕಲೆ, ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ, ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ, ಆರೋಗ್ಯ, ಜೀವನ ಶೈಲಿ, ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ, ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಮುಂತಾದ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಚಲಿತ ವಿದ್ಯಮಾನಗಳನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ದೇಶ ವಿದೇಶಗಳ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಿಂದ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಗಳನ್ನು ಆಯೋಜಿಸಲಾಗುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಈ ದಿನ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ನೀಡಲಿರುವ ತುಮಕೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪಿ ಪರಮಶಿವಯ್ಯ ರವರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪಿ ಪರಮಶಿವಯ್ಯ ರವರು ತುಮಕೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರು ಹಾಗೂ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರು. ಗುಲ್ಬರ್ಗಾ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಿಂದ ಚಿನ್ನದ ಪದಕದೊಂದಿಗೆ MCom, MPhil ಹಾಗೂ PhD ಪದವಿಗಳನ್ನು ಪಡೆದಿರುವವರು. ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರಾಗಿ ವೃತ್ತಿ ಜೀವನವನ್ನ ಆರಂಭಿಸಿದ ಇವರು 3 ದಶಕಗಳಿಗೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಕಾಲ ಬೋಧನಾನುಭವವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುವವರು. ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದ ಹಣಕಾಸು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಭಾರ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾಗಿಯೂ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಉತ್ತಮ ವಾಕ್ಚಾತುರ್ಯರು ಹೌದು. 15ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ PhD ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿರುವರು. 200ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಹಾಗೂ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಬಂಧಗಳನ್ನು ಮಂಡಿಸಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. 3 ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಸಮ್ಮೇಳನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತಮ ಪ್ರಬಂಧ ಮಂಡನೆಗಾಗಿ ಶ್ರೀಯುತರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ದೊರೆತಿವೆ. 70ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನು ಸಂಪಾದಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 20ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕೃತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರಕಟಿಸಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದ ವಿಷಯ ಕುರಿತು ಅಪಾರ ಜ್ಞಾನವುಳ್ಳವರಾಗಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ವಿದೇಶದ ಹಲವಾರು ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಿತ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಗಳನ್ನು ನೀಡುತ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪಿ ಪರಮಶಿವಯ್ಯನವರು ಇಂದು ಬಸವ ತತ್ವ ಮತ್ತು ಆಡಳಿತ ನಿರ್ವಹಣೆ ವಿಷಯ ಕುರಿತು ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸರ್, ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಸರ್.
ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ಬಸವಲಿಂಗಾಯ ನಮಃ. ನನ್ನ ಆರಾಧ್ಯ ದೈವ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶ್ರೀ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳ ಪಾದಾರವಿಂದಗಳಿಗೆ ವಂದಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶ್ರೀ ಶಿವರಾತ್ರಿ ರಾಜೇಂದ್ರ ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳ ಪಾದಾರವಿಂದಗಳಿಗೆ ವಂದಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಜಗದ್ಗುರು ಶ್ರೀ ಶಿವರಾತ್ರಿ ದೇಶಿಕೇಂದ್ರ ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳಿಗೆ ವಂದಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ಹರಗುರು ಚರಮೂರ್ತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಶ್ರೀ ಸಿದ್ಧಲಿಂಗ ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳ ಪಾದಾರವಿಂದಗಳಿಗೆ ವಂದಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ಅಕ್ಕ ತಂಗಿಯರೇ, ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳೇ, ಶರಣ ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ನನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆತ್ಮೀಯರೇ, ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಶರಣಾರ್ಥಿ. ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನದ ಒಂದು ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ರೇರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಬಸವ ತತ್ವ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ team of JSS Mat, including my beloved Swamiji to his lotus feet. So ಜ್ಞಾನವಾರಿಧಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಸಮುದ್ರ. ಇಂದು ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯ ಬಸವ ತತ್ವ ಮತ್ತು ಆಡಳಿತ ನಿರ್ವಹಣೆ. ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ, as you know, Basaveshwara, also known as Basavanna, is one of the greatest spiritual leaders in the India. A revolutionary saint, a great poet, a noted mystic, and an ardent social reformer. And started a new era of bringing philosophy in Karnataka. And Vachana, literally meaning prose, acquired a new vigor in the hands of the Basaveshwara. He caused revolution in Kannada literature, both in form and content. Is the poetry of life. The entire Kannada literature in the Vaishnaves with related to Basaveshwara and its followers, one of the rarest things which is going to be remembered, which is going to be used even today. Because my topic of presentation is Basaveshwara philosophy and its relevance on management. As on today, human problems are most complicated today than ever before. No doubt man has acquired unprecedented knowledge and power, but this have caused unparalleled changes, and as a result, life has become confusion, worse confounded. Everything about us in the state of flux in the present situation we are experiencing since last 1 week. In this predicament, the need of the spiritual is more keenly felt today than ever before in our history. The great saints and poets of the world can teach us how to acquire the spiritual strength we need to pull ourselves due to various problems of the business circumstances. Basveshwara, a context of social changes and religious awakening in the modern India, the message of Basveshwara acquires special significance in the present management philosophy, management problems. As today Indian society, with its ideas of democracy and nationalism and emphasis on the spread of education and on the scientific outlook, is reshaping itself in the current world of thought, and problems are changing, results were changing, programs were changing, and institutions, maybe a customers, maybe a values, when we are going to talk about caste, creed, religion, are becoming in the present situation. And even though Basveshwara lived 800 years ago, but it strikes us as a thoroughly modern and practical in the present business problem. Since the beginning of the century, our businesses are having, even though various problems of predominant with respect to the profitability, with respect to the principles of division of work, with respect to the all these things which is going to take place in various things which are divided with various religions, which we talk about maybe a center of exploitation. ನಾವು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಹಣವನ್ನು ನೀರಿನಂತೆ ಗಳಿಸಬೇಕು, ತೀರ್ಥದಂತೆ ಬಳಸಬೇಕು. ಹಣವನ್ನು ನೀರಿನಂತೆ ಗಳಿಸಬೇಕು, ತೀರ್ಥದಂತೆ ಬಳಸಬೇಕು. And today's newspaper will become tomorrow's waste paper. And the philosophy of the things what we are going to talk about in the Basveshwara and the present management, ಕಾಯಕ. ಶಿವರಾತ್ರಿ ದೇಶಿಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿನೂ ಕಾಯಕದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿನೂ ಕಾಯಕದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಕಾಯಕ, the term ಕಾಯಕ means honest manual labor, but it's a much more than the labor for one's living. The concept of kayaka may be a signal contribution of practical philosophy of the Basveshwara. It is acquired new dimension in the way it was preached and practiced by Basavana and other Sharanas in the 12th century. And it is a coordination of management philosophy, planning, organization, staffing, direction, coordination, reporting, budgeting, controlling. When we are going to talk about organization is a combination of men, money, machinery, material. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾಗೆಯೊಂದೊಗಳ ಕಂಡರೆ ಕರೆಯದೆ ತನ್ನ ಬಳಗವನ್ನು, ಕೋಳಿಯೊಂದು ಕುಟುಕು ಕಂಡರೆ ಕೂಗಿ ಕರೆಯದೆ ತನ್ನ ಕುಲವೆಲ್ಲವ, ಶಿವಭಕ್ತನಾಗಿ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಪಕ್ಷವಿಲ್ಲದಿದ್ದರೆ ಕಾಗೆ ಕೋಳಿಯಿಂದ ಕರಕಷ್ಟ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ದೇವ. ಕಾಗೆಯು ತಾನೊಂದು ಅನ್ನದ ಅಗುಳನ್ನು ಕಂಡಾಗ ತನ್ನ ಬಳಗವನ್ನು ಕೂಗಿ ಕರೆಯುತ್ತದೆ. ಕೋಳಿಯು ತನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಗೂಟಕನ್ನು ಕಂಡರೆ ಸಾಕು, ತನ್ನ ಕುಲವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಗಿ ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಶಿವಭಕ್ತನಾಗಿದ್ದುಕೊಂಡು ಭಕ್ತಿ ಪಕ್ಷವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರದಿದ್ದರೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನು ಆ ಕಾಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಕೋಳಿಗಳಿಗಿಂತ ಕನಿಷ್ಠನಾಗುತ್ತಾನೆ. We respect, because be a bhakta or guru or a jangama, one has no right to live an idle life or parasite in exploiting the labor of other people. Exploitation of labor, exploitation of material, exploitation of things which is going to take place, which we are going to require fix. Because contemporary management is a multidisciplinary approach in the present situation. Contemporary management is a multidisciplinary function, and at every stage of management, human values and ethics needs to be respected as it replicates in the aspect of our nation culture. Why these things are going to take place? Because today we live in the world of difficult choices, and choose the best one is one of the risk. And the age of choice is highly competitive task, and students, business people are at the crossroads of this election. And we live in the divergent work of contrast, and difficult tensions faced with totally new questions and answers, challenges. We live in a globalized and interconnected world which is being transformed every day so many ways. And 21st century is a extraordinary of creating opportunities. We say strong man creates opportunities, weak man wait for opportunity. So the perfect of enabled individuals which is going to take place, which we require in the management, like work culture, like ethical practices, like economic responsibility, like social responsibility, like communication, like leadership, like spiritual approach, like emotions, like customer relations and governance, decisions making, diversity management, humanity, training, rewards, time management, motivation, attitude, human resource ethics, social responsibility, equality. We are having the vachanas for the contemporary management, because engage in social responsibility, work they perform, stakeholders relation, and achieving organizational goals, adopting to the contributing the society and work ethics which is going to take place, which we require for going with various things, which is one of the very important tasks, how they are going to make it happen for the things which is going to take place. Because the Basveshwara philosophy is one of the very important things which we require. Just I am going to give some of the points how these things are going to take place. Maybe the things when we are going to take about this things of the Basveshwara in the last things, and it is a background of Basavana, and Basavana was born in the town of northern part of Bagewadi, and 12th century philosopher, poet, social reformer, and is one of the very important philosopher in the social discrimination, superstition and rituals, and his vachanas are present management are required. Even the present management, when we are going to talk about Henry Fayol's 14 principles of management, or it may be leadership, or it may be Abraham Maslow theory of the needs, basic needs, social needs, self-esteem needs, self-actualization needs, self-realization needs. The Basveshwara Vachana is one of the very important things which is required for things which is going to take place. How the revolutionary in the time of things, what this, you take the example of the Kalabeda Kulabeda, do not steal, do not kill, do not utter lies, do not lose temper, do not detect others, do not glorify yourself, do not blame others. There alone will purify within and external. Kudal Sangamadeva. So this is social awareness is one of the very important things which is going to take place. When we are going to talk about this Vachana Sahitya, and this 11th century, 12th century is a part of the Sharanas movement, all the problems of the 21st century. It may be problems of profitability, problems of expansion, problems of diversity, problems of amalgamation, problems of work culture, problems of ethical values, problems of equality, problems of profitable, problems of sales, problems of attitude, or it may be perception, or it may be learning, or it may be economic responsibility, or it may be governance, or it may be decision making, or it may be training. All the functions of HR, maybe human resource management, the Basveshwara philosophy is going to give the solution for the problem. Because what we are facing problem, when we are going to find out the solution through problems, through vachanas, we are going to get it, a philosophy of universal work, engage in social responsibility. Engage in, because we say in management, start early, drive slowly, reach safely. When we are going to talk about stakeholders relation, profit kodi, ಎಷ್ಟನ profit kodi ಅಂತಾರೆ. ನೀವು 10% ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ 20% ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ. You take the example of the DA with government. ನಾವು 5% ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, 3% ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. Human wants are limited. Human wants are maybe recurring in nature, and the aligning and achieving our nation goals with our needs is one of the work ethics which is going to take place. Because work ethics is one of the very important things when we are going to talk about management philosophy. ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಘಟನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ, how this philosophy of the management which is going to take place with respect to ethical values, with respect to responsibility. A poor boy, ಒಂದು ಹುಡುಗ is going to sell the items from one house to another house. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಾಮಾನುಗಳು ತಗೊಂಡು ಒಂದ್ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮನೆಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. And he is very poor boy and he is going to get some commission. From that commission he is going to continue his education, continue his life. ಜೀವನನೂ ನಡಿಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು, ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ನಡಿಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ he don't have any money during the summer season. ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಣ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಹಳ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಹಸ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ he don't have money, so afternoon he is going to search the houses to find out the customers. ಎಲ್ಲಾರ ಮನೆಗಳಿಗೂ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಬೇಡ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಮನೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬನ್ನಿ, is interested to buy item. ಆವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು a lady came outside and he is hungry and also he is so thirsty. ಬಹಳ ಸುಸ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ. ಅವನು ಒಂದು ಲೋಟ ನೀರು ಕೇಳ್ದ. he requested for 1 cup of water to that lady. ಆ lady, by seeing his face, he has given 1 cup of milk. ಹಾಲು ಕೊಟ್ಲು. ಹಾಲು ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಮೇಲೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ನೀರು ಕೇಳಿದಿಲ್ಲ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕುಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಈ takes the milk and is very happy. ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ದ. ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇವನ ಹತ್ರ ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೇಳ್ದ. ದಟ್ ಲೇಡಿ, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. ನೀವು ಆ ಹುಡುಗಂಗೊಂದು ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಕಳಿಸು. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಈಗ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಈಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಟು go for other houses. Next, he struggled hard, ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಓದ್ದ, ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಿ is become the good doctor ಆದ. and his specialization in heart surgery and maybe a lung infection etc. ಅವನಿಗೆ entire that place he is the only specialist and he has become so rich. ಒಂದು ದಿನ ಅವನೊಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಫೋನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯಿಂದ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯಿಂದ, ಒಬ್ರು ಲೇಡಿಗೆ ಲಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ವಾಸಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಶಿ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್, ನೀನ್ ಬಂದು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ. ಊರು ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ರೋಗಿ. ಇವನಿದ್ದಿದ್ದ ಊರಿಂದನೇ ಆ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಹಳ ಸಂತೋಷ ಪಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮೂರಿನವರೇ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಿಲ್ಲು ಆ ಲೇಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಲೇಡಿ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಇಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಇನ್ ದಿ ಮೀನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಈ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ದಿ ಬಿಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು, ನಾನು ಸೆಟ್ಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಹಾಲು ಕುಡಿದಿದ್ದ ಮನೆಗೆ, ನಾನು ನೀರು ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಹಾಲು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಮನೆಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಈ ನೆವರ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಎನಿ ಮನಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಈ ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್, ನೀವು ನನಗೆ ಹಾಲು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಟುಡೇ ಐ ಆಮ್ ದಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ grateful for giving me an opportunity to serve you. This is one of the very important economic responsiveness for the charity what we are going to give. ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಉಪ್ಪು ತಿಂದ ಮನೆಗೆ 3 ಬಗೆ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ. When we are going to talk about the management with respect to Gita and management, Kautilya Arthashastra and management, Sikh philosophy and management, Buddhist principles and management, our Vachana Sahitya is going to give almost all the solution for all the problems of maybe a social responsibility, maybe a work, maybe a organizational goals, maybe a work ethics, maybe a decision making, maybe a diversity, maybe a humanity, maybe a training, maybe a rewards, maybe a time management, maybe a social responsibility, maybe a ethical practices, all these things and references to this management which is going to take place, which we talks about only daswa. Work is worship. Kayakave kailasa. Now it's people change the kayakave ayasa and kayakave kail. That is the one of the very important factor which is going to talk about spiritual work of the Basaveshwara philosophy in the corporate social responsibility irbodu, ಅಥವಾ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲಾಯಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ವಿ ಟಾಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಚಾರಿಟಿ. ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್ ಗವರ್ನೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್ ಎಥಿಕ್ಸ್, ದಯವಿಲ್ಲದ ಧರ್ಮದ ಯಾವುದಯ್ಯ, ದಯವೇ ಬೇಕು ಸಕಲ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿಯೂ, ದಯವೇ ಧರ್ಮದ ಮೂಲವಯ್ಯ, ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಘ ನಂತಲ್ಲಿ ಎದಯ್ಯ. ಕರುಣೆ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಧರ್ಮ ಯಾವುದಿದೆ? ಸಮಸ್ತ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ದಯೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ದಯೆ ಧರ್ಮದ ಆಧಾರ. ಆಗಿಲ್ಲದಿದ್ದರೆ ಭಗವಂತ ಮೆಚ್ಚುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. When we are going to talk about consumer exploitation, it is not good things which is going to take place, which we are going to take place. When we are going to talk about international philosophers, Western thinkers, he talks about Basaveshwara. And Arthur Miller, a great Western thinker, said Basaveshwara was the first Indian free thinker to go for people's movement, people's aspiration, people's involvement, people's concern, people's care, people's ethics, people's welfare. Even Mahatma Gandhi has said, it has not been possible for me to practice the perspectives of Basaveshwara when he thought 800 years ago, which he has practiced by himself. In his convocation address by Professor Dr. Shankaracharya Sharma also said, philosophy of equality preached and practiced by Basaveshwara was truly a revolutionary aspect in the contemporary management things which is going to take place. Because the Basaveshwara philosophy in the human kind of approaches which is going to take place, zeal and the prophet, human wants are unlimited, analysis of philosophy, is a spiritual physician. Basaveshwara was a spiritual physician, and he talks about emotional integration. He talks about emotional integration with political stability, social cohesiveness, economic prosperity, and he removes caste system, and he suggested to go for intercaste marriage and dasoha as solution to this problem. Everywhere he talks about dasoha when we are going to take about, and Basaveshwara brought about very forceful revolution in the tradition-ridden society and become change of champion, change of challenger, change agent in the most oppressed class of people. He established a form of maybe called Anubhav Mantapa, present parliament, present CEO, present managing director, present board of governors meeting, Anil Narabadi meeting, and he talks about intellectual discussion to find solution for social problem. People from all walks of life, belonging to all caste and creeds, participated in it. The Anubhav Mantapa was the regular institution which has no parallel in the spiritual history of mankind. Maybe it is one of the greatest sacrifice, greatest challenge our JSS institution under Reverend Swamiji is doing Gnanavaridi. Gnanavaridi is online to give a value approach, a value ethics for the people to get organization goals for our soul. ನಮ್ಮ ಆತ್ಮ ಶುದ್ಧಿ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. And this is the achievement of the things with various speakers from all parts of the world. We are going to talk about ethics in nature, ethics in organization, ethics in life, ethics in principles, ethics in management, ethics in labor, ethics in dignity, ethics in work, ethics in our life only. That we are going to talk about, which is going to take place. I have compared this sustainability development goals and this Millennium Development Goals of the United Nations and Basava philosophy for sustainable development. No poverty. 21st century, in the 2019 or 19, they have given Millennium Goals. No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean energy and clean and environment, and affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consent and practice, climate action, life below water, life on hand, peace, justice and strong institution, partnership for the goals. All these goals Basaveshwara has said during 12th century only. During 12th century only, they were engaging all these things which is going to talk about. I have given some of the different vachanas which is going to take bit. Because ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮರ್ತ್ಯ ಲೋಕವೆಂಬುದು ಕರ್ತಾರನ ಕಮ್ಮಟವಯ್ಯ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಲ್ಲುವರು ಅಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಸಲ್ಲುವರಯ್ಯ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಲ್ಲದವರು ಅಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಸಲ್ಲರಯ್ಯ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ದೇವ. ಮಾನವ ಲೋಕವೆಂಬುದು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಕರ್ತನ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಗಾರ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಲ್ಲುವಂತೆ ಬದುಕಿದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಲ್ಲುತ್ತಾನೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯೋಗ್ಯರೆನಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳದವರು ಮತ್ತೆಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಸಲ್ಲುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬದುಕಿದರೆ ಪರವು ತಾನಾಗಿಯೇ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಸುತ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಫ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್, ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಇಷ್ಟಪಡದೆ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ವೇರ್ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡದೆ, ಸೊ ಐ ಶುಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್, I should like my colleagues, I should like my environment, I should like my friends, I should like my ethics, I should develop my ethics. That is the one of very important things which is going to take place. And when we are going to talk about ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೊತ್ತು, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಬಸವಣ್ಣ, ಎನಿಸು ಕಾಲ ಕಲ್ಲು ನೀರೊಳಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಏನು, ನೆನೆದು ಮೃದುವಾಗಬಲ್ಲದೆ, ಎನಿಸು ಕಾಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೂಜಿಸಿ ಏವೇನಯ್ಯ, ಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ದೃಢವಿಲ್ಲದ ನಕ್ಕ, ನಿಧಾನವ ಕಾಯ್ದಿರ್ದ ಬೆಂತರನಂತೆ, ಅದರ ವಿಧಿ ಏನಾಗಾಯ್ತು ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ದೇವ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೊತ್ತು ಕಲ್ಲು ನೀರಿನ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಅದು ನೆನೆದು ಮೃದುವಾಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಂತೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ದೃಢತೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಎಥಿಕ್ಸ್. ಎಲೆ ಶಿವನೇ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾಲ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಪೂಜಿಸಿ ಏನು ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ, ತಾನು ಅನುಭವಿಸಲಾಗದ ಊತಿಟ್ಟ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಕಾಯುವ ಪಿಶಾಚಿಯಂತೆ ನನ್ನ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. We reduce inequalities and all these things which is going to take place. And present day management, when we are going to talk about a country like India, 139 crore population, when we are going to talk about some of the population of the lowest countries are having the different types of the problem which is going to take place, which we require for this. How these things are going to make it happen? Because the problem of this year, because ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಜೋಶುವಾ ಡೇವಿಡ್ ಅಂತ ನೊಬೆಲ್ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಬಂತು. ಇಸ್ರೇಲಿ ಅಮೆರಿಕನ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್. ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಇಸ್ರೇಲಿ ಅಮೆರಿಕನ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಜೋಶುವಾ ಡೇವಿಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇಸ್ರೇಲಿ ಅಮೆರಿಕನ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಇನ್ Ford School of Economics at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He talks about methodological contribution to the analysis of causal relationship between these things. ಅದನ್ನೇ ನೋಡಿ ಬಸವಣ್ಣವರು ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. This year Nobel laureate, what he has given the causal relationship, he talks about 12th century only, which is he discussed about relationship between management principles, how they are going to make it happen. Because when we are going to talk about the problems of the organization, what we are going to take place, you take all those. When you are going to discuss, you take India, you take the example of the population of younger population like Karnataka, Andhra, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. They are having the less than 40 age group, more than 70% of the age group, which is going to take place. And when we are going to talk about, recently we have discussed about poverty ratio in India, and highest poverty ratio in Bihar, second one is Uttar Pradesh, third one is Madhya Pradesh, and fourth one is Rajasthan. And when we are going to talk about Kerala, the poverty percentage is less than 0.5%, 0.7%, not even 1%. In Karnataka, it may be 13%. In Andhra, it is 12%. In Telangana, it is around 13%. In Maharashtra, it is around 14%. When you take about Orissa, it is 29%. Madhya Pradesh, almost 36%. Bihar, 52%. Assam, 32%. All these things, when we are going to take place, this is one of very important factor. When we are going to talk about, when we don't distribute the profits equally, distribute our wealth equally, this is one of the very important things which is going to take place, how they are going to make it happen. So when we are going to talk about the international wealth of the nation, if a country like America 32 crores and Pakistan around 22 crores, England around 8 crores, Germany 5 crores and Japan around 11 crores, almost European countries less than 5 crores, they are having the problems of different. We are having the problems of different. This is one of the challenge of the management which is going to take place. What challenges in the present 21st century we are going to discuss? It's a workforce mobility, employees attrition. Today employees will join and then they will go immediately. This is one of the problem. Managing diversity at workplace, talent management cannot be retained, employee engagement with respect to work-life balance, workplace ethics, honesty, social responsibility. These are all challenges of the responsibility of the management in the present, almost all. When we are going to take about United Nations report and also Federation of Industries and Commerce reports and also Association of Industries reports and FICCI reports, these problems have highlighted one of the very important factor which is going to take place. For this problem, we talk about this communication, self-introspection, state of mind. Don't question of unnecessary taking tension. If I don't like anybody, even though I don't like my family, I don't like my colleagues, I don't like the environment, I don't like my ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸುರೇಶ್ ಸರ್ ನನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಮಹೇಶ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರು. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡೋದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರನ್ನ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಫ್ ಐ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಐ ಲೈಕ್ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ. ದಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಐ ಶುಡ್ ಫಾಲೋ ಎಥಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್, ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೆಡ್ನೆಸ್, ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಡೆಡಿಕೇಶನ್, ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಮೆಂಟ್, self concern, self perception, self learning, self work commitment, self equality. That is more important. The concepts of vachanas, when we are going to talk about, it is one of the very important things. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಮಾಡಿದನೆಂಬುದು ಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳೆದರೆ ಏಡಿಸಿ ಕಾಡಿತ್ತು ಶಿವನ ಡಂಗೂರ, ಮಾಡಿದನೆಂಬುದು ಮನದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ ಬೇಡಿತ್ತನ್ನಿವ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ದೇವ. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಉಪಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಏನೋದು ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳೆದರೆ ಸಾಕು, ಶಿವನ ಡಂಗೂರ ಹೀಯಾಳಿಸಿ ಕಾಡುತ್ತದೆ. ಲಿಂಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿ ಜಂಗಮಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದವು ಎಂದು ಹೇಳಲಾಗದು. ಮಾಡಿದ ಉಪಕಾರ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕದಲ್ಲೂ ಉಳಿಯದಿದ್ದರೆ ದೇವರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದನ್ನು ಕೊಡುವನು. ನಾನು ಅದು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಎಡಗೈನ ಕೊಡೋದು ಬಲಗೈನ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಅಂತ. That is the reason the things which is going to take place in the present state of the mind, this we are going to talk about. This we are going to things which we are. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅವಾಗಲೇ, what are the problems in the present management? Leadership crisis, empathy, concern, sharing of the profits, sharing of the concern, anger management between various levels, top level, mid level, lower level, executive level, operational level, and motivation, how to motivate the people, how to motivate to reduce these problems. ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಯಾವುದು, this state of the mind, these things we are going to talk about. And compassion, ಕರುಣೆ, ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ, ದಯವಿಲ್ಲದ ಧರ್ಮವ್ಯಾವುದಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ. So that is the compassion. Non-discriminatory practices we should avoid. Basveshwara Vachana says, because almost all the problems of the present management, equality of the consistency, commitment are going to take place. And the managers have multiple roles to perform, and in the order they are influenced by not just internal environment but also affected by external environment. These external environment factors are more challenging, more crucial. It is going to create economical problem, ethical problem, political problem, legal problem, ecological problem, social problem, technological problem. All this we require human skills of vachanas to solve this, which is going to take place. We are going to talk about the concern of the things which we are going to take place. Management perspective in the Vasva philosophy. When we are going to observe the vachanas, employee engagement, kayaka, employee motivation, Maslow's theory, corporate social responsibility, giving back to society, Danamadi, Dasoha, group teams at a workplace, discussion with public places, discussion with problems, discussion to find out the solution, Anubhav Mantapa, workplace behavior, mutual respect, human values, compassion. ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಕಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ ಗುಂಡು, ಕೊರಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ ಬೆಂಡು, ತೇಲಿಯದು ಗುಂಡು, ಮುಳುಗಲಿಯರು ಬೆಂಡು, ಇಂತಪ್ಪ ಸಂಸಾರ ಶರದಿಯ ದಾಟಿಸಿ ಕಾಲಾಂತಕನೇ ಕಾಯೋ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಯ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಕಾಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾರವಾದ ಗುಂಡನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಕೊರಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಗರು ಕಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಗುಂಡು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ತೇಲಲು ಬಿಡುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಂಡು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಮುಳುಗಲು ಬಿಡುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೀಗೆ ಸಂಸಾರ ಸಾಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆ ಕಾಲ ಸಂಮಾರ್ಗ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡು. This is one of the very important which is going to take place to require things. Business management, ನಾನು ಅವಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲೋಕದ ತನಕ ನೀವೇ ಕಿತ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ತನವ ಸಂತೈಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನವ ಸಂತೈಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನೆರಮನೆಯ ದುಃಖಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ದೇವ. ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್, staffing, direction, coordination, reporting, budgeting, controlling, maybe 14 principles of the authority, responsibility, delegation, unity of command, unity of direction, Means Esprit de Corps. It is unity strength. So that's where business management principle is one of the very important things for business ethics. The business ethics, honesty. When we are going to talk about kalabeda, kulabeda, usiya nudiyale ಬೇಡ, ಅನ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಅಸಹ್ಯ ಪಡಬೇಡ, ತನ್ನ ಬಣ್ಣಿಸಬೇಡ, ಇದೇ ಇದೇ ಅಂತರಂಗ ಶುದ್ಧಿ, ಇದೇ ಇದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಘದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎಥಿಕ್ಸ್. We talk about corporate ethics. Corporate companies 2013 says corporate which is going to take place. Active communication, it is important things. Listen, and our mentality, listen more, talk less. Principles. But our says talk more, listen less. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನುಡಿದರೆ ಮುತ್ತಿನ ಬೇಕು, ನುಡಿದರೆ ಮಾಣಿಕ್ಯದ ದೀಪ್ತಿ ಅಂತಿರಬೇಕು, ನುಡಿದರೆ ಸ್ಫಟಿಕದ ಸಲಾಕಿ ಅಂತಿರಬೇಕು, ನುಡಿದರೆ ಲಿಂಗ ಮೆಚ್ಚಿ ಔದೆನಬೇಕು, ನುಡಿಯದಿದ್ದರೆ ನಡೆಯದಿದ್ದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇವನಂತಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆಯ. One of the reason communication, told you, this is one of the internal environment problem which is going to take place to connection with business and also society. And vachana for inclusiveness, inclusiveness of the goals. We respect you, respect each other, we respect ಇವನ್ ಆರವ ನಮ್ಮವೆಂದೆನಿಸಯ್ಯ, ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯ ಮಗನೆಂದೆನಿಸಯ್ಯ. We must respect all our without designation, without caste, without creed, religion, which is going to talk. Their management, ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ತನಗೆ ಮುನಿಯವರಿಗೆ ತನಗಾದ ಆಗೇನು, ಅವರಿಗಾದ ಚೇಗೇನು, ತನುವಿನ ಕೋಪ ತನ್ನ ಹಿರಿಯತನ ಕೇಡು, ಕೋಪ ತನ್ನ ಮನೆಯೊಳಗಣ ಕಿಚ್ಚು, ಮನೆಯ ಸುಟ್ಟು ನೆರೆಮನೆಯ ಸುಡೋದು ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ದೇವ. ಆಂಗರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. There is one research report analyzed after the COVID-19 broken out. Majority of the people, even Nimans have started with respect to the psychological problems. They have received lakhs of phones from different parts of the Karnataka and India to read. What is their findings of the report? For our nation behavior also we discuss. When I am going to think always negative things, my produce negative hormones. Negative think ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ my body is, my brain is going to negative hormones, brain hemorrhage. Of the reason the Anubhavam visionary leader, what Basveshwara has said, people should engage with and people should engage with Kayaka all the times. That is possible. We say in even now also, management is out of done by others, which is going to take place, which we are going to do. Self-motivation. Whatever we are going to get the needs and needs, we are not satisfied. Promotion. That is the reason. ಎಲ್ಲವರು ಶಿವಾಲಯ ಮಾಡುವರು, ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡಲಿ ಬಡವನಯ್ಯ, ಎನ್ನ ಕಾಲೇ ಕಂಬ ದೇಹವೇ ದೇಗುಲ, ದೇವೇ ವನ್ನ ಕಳಸವಯ್ಯ, ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳಯ್ಯ, ಸ್ಥಾವರ ಕಳಿವುಂಟು ಜಂಗಮ ಕಳಿವಿಲ್ಲ. It talks about multiple role organization influenced with external factors, even more international management practices. That is the reason we talk about maybe a standards with Koika, which is going to take place, stakeholders relation between philosophy, contributivity, and they perform how they are going to make it happen. This is the reasons, some of which is going to take place for environment, how these things. We talk about ದಾಸೋಹ, ಕೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಭಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಬಡ ಕಕ್ಕೈನ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಡಿದೆ, ಕಕ್ಕೈನ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಬೇಡಿದೆ, ದಾಯಲ್ಲೂ ಬೇಡಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪುರಾತನರು ನೆರೆದು ಭಕ್ತಿ ಕಿಡೆಯನ್ನ ಪಾತ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಿತ್ತು ಕೂಡ. He takes everything from me. He takes keep ಕಾಯಕವೇ ಕೈಲಾಸ. See, he talks about amazing of creation of wealth will be a exploitation of society. A doctor exploit dignity of labor. There is no difference in kind of work, but every work is equal. Every work is equal. It's philosophy, and oneself should perform with total and divinity. ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಭಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕೆಲಸ ಸಣ್ಣದು, ಅವ್ರ ಕೆಲಸ ದೊಡ್ಡದು. The goods what we are going to produce, the services what we are going to perform, what we are going to ignore needs of the society. It should be desired behavior of the society, desired behavior of the individual, desired behavior of the hereditary, desired behavior of the desired behavior of the desired behavior of the enterprise, desired behavior of the employee, and desired behavior of a doctor. Kaikave Kailasa. That's we are going to talk about, which is going to talk about corporate governance. In the recent days, it is one of the very buzzword. Munna madida papa innu bayisidunte bhakti ulla ಬಯಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ದೇವರಲ್ಲಿ ಮುನಿ ಅಡಿಯದನ್ನಕ್ಕ. This is work for ethical values to take place, which the societal needs, how they are going. Citizens of welfare society, we require, when we follow a hierarchical structure, corporate governance, which is take place. Because to talk about women were not allowed to work shoulder to recognition, he has given equality to both men and women. He gives all kayakas are honorable professions. Kayaka is either low or high. He has given opportunity to both men and women. And varnas and ashrama to be discarded. Class. Intergroup marriages and free dining should be. Untouchability has no place in the society. All men have equal right to participate in spiritual discussion, to acquire spiritual knowledge, and to follow the same path of self. In today's scenario, we are going to give a demand of equal justice, spiritual right. It is already given maybe in the 12th by great Basveshwara. These things which is going to, we are going to talk about equality in society is one of the very important factor in recent days. So challenge of change that may be today we live in a world of difficult choices, and to choose the best one is the one of the very difficult tasks. To explain what where we must go for self-discipline. Self-discipline is the only core to integrate our emotional integration, artificially created all the things which is going to, and for all this to talk about every individual is to be respected. Enna nudiyondupari, enna nadiyondupari, ennolagenu nudiye takka nudiye kandide. This is called as self-discipline to take place, and which what talk about interpersonal skills between group, individuals, organization. When he is alone, so the Sara Sajjanara Sangava Dura Durjanara Sanga Bedavaya, Avada Edeno Vishamundi, Antavara Sanga Bedavaya, Antaranga Shuddha Sangavu, Singi Kalakuta Vishavu, Kudal Sangaya, interpersonal skill. We should avoid, we should neglect the instability or the person don't have ethical values, and to talk about some of the he talks about interpersonal skills, which is going. When we talk about innocence, we talk about the Vachana. Now we intelligence, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, machine learning. We talks about in things which is going to require Abbakke tanda arakeya kuri, toranake tanda taliyere mettu, kondari bada doriyade, benda vadala arivuttallade adande ondittu, ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ದೇವ. ಕರಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಬಲಿತ ಅಂತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. But reason how these things of innocence we are going to talk about, which some of the philosophy of management, that's tell and do as one says in there. Maybe feel the God is the witness of whatever is done, have a good grounding of conventional formalities, and do not give room for try to get on life through self-effort without having a mundane world. Brahme, entirely God, nothing to do with human, and all these vachanas whatever you talk about, helping the people, stable society, stable organization, stable employee, stable country. And Basveshwara philosophy teaches people how to behave in the society, how to judge the relationship between men and dignity of labor. March, when we are going, the Vachanas written by Basveshwara create a cultural harmony practiced like obedience, modernity, living together, clutches of social. Yes, Vachanas have 5 fundamental principles. Vachanas from the management side, inner analysis, so social pathology, and the formation of ideal society, pursuit of truth, welfare, all this today's in. And you take about J.P. Scotton in the 19 talks about educational, talks about equality in society. According to Basava, right action is a good caste, bad action is a low caste. Right action is a good caste, bad action is a low caste. Its concept of wearing personal linga brought the equality among people. Concept of wearing personal linga, sense of equality among concept, the presence of linga on the body, the untouchables were elevated to high. Untouchables were elevated to high status in society, and learning are stressed for all people rather than being the preserve of, according to J.P. Scotton in 1980, but Vachanas movement. And he accepted fundamental principles. All men are equal when we are still considered fight for equality for all, even 22 also. Vachana for people management. People management. Manage men tactfully. M-A-N-A-G. Manage men tactfully. ಇವರಿಗೆ ತಾ ಮುನಿಯಲೇಕಯ್ಯ ಹಾಗೇನು ಅವರಿಗಾದ ಚೇಗೆ ಕೋಪ ತನ್ನ ಹಿರಿಯದ ಕೇಡು, ಮನದ ಕೋಪ ತನ್ನ ಅರಿವಿನ ಕೇಡು, ಮನೆಯೊಳಗನ ಕಿಚ್ಚು ಮನೆಯ ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ನರಿಮನೆಯ ಸುಡದು. To go for negative attitude, negative learning, negative perception to create problems for me. It is going to kill, it is going to burn my ego. I am going to promote a negative attitude. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, positive person says good morning to all of you, negative person says it's already morning. So he talks about even in the people management, he talks about ಲೋಕ ಮರ್ತ್ಯ ಲೋಕವೆಂಬುದು ಬೇರೆಲ್ಲ, ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನು ನುಡಿವಿದೆ ಧರ್ಮಲೋಕ, ಮಿಥ್ಯವನ್ನು ನುಡಿವಿದೆ ಆಚಾರವೇ ಸ್ವರ್ಗ, ಅನಾಚಾರವೇ ನರಕ. That means all men are equal, which will still together and fight for equality among all, and no man is superior, inferior, either by birth or occupation. Individual is known by his kayaka. He talks about ಮಡೆ ಮಣ್ಣೆ ಮೊದಲು, ತೊಡಿಗೆಯ ಮಾಡುವಡೆ ಒನ್ನೆ ಮೊದಲು, ಅರಿವಡೆ ಗುರುಪತವಿ ಮೊದಲು. Always he talks about values which we are going to things in the Anubhav Mandapa Vachanas and today's scenario. So each one should follow a profession of his or his own choice, which include all as a passion of learning which is going to take place. He says untouchability has no principle, has no place in the society, which is which things, and we talked about in the called communication. ನೀರಿಗೆ ನೈದಿಲೆ ಶೃಂಗಾರ, ಸಮುದ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ತೆರೆಯ ಶೃಂಗಾರ, ಗುಣವೇ ಶೃಂಗಾರ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ಶರಣರಿಗೆ. He talks about the ಕರುಣೆಯಿಲ್ಲದ things, ಧರ್ಮ ಶರಣಸ್ಯ maybe a ದಿನಗಳೆದಂತೆ take about things which is going to take place. And this is also one of the vachanas of dedication, values, and how he is going in the organization, and how this is going to manage people's management. For the reasons he talks things which is attrition, like individual thought, like glorify, like ethical suggestions, and which we are about occupational responsibilities, movement of dignity of labor relations, and he preaches of love. He talks about everybody should understand easily. All these things which he is going, I think time is going to be up. I'm going to summarize the things which is from all this we can say Sara Sajjanara Lesu Kandaya Sajjanara Sangavadu Bangavaya Sangavareduntu Vandu Idi Mangalamurti Nama Kulasananaru. We must join hands with good people. We should mingle with good people. We should discuss ideas. We should spend time. That is one of the reasons is going to take place. And what we are going to talk about, Bhakti ಮೇಲೆ ಗುರುವೆಂಬ ಬೀಜವಂಕುರು ಲಿಂಗವೆಂಬ ಎಲೆಯಾಯಿತು, ಲಿಂಗವೆಂಬ ಎಲೆಯೆಂಬ ಹೂವಾಯಿತು, ಆಚಾರವೆಂಬ ಕಾಯಾಗಿತ್ತು, ನಿಷ್ಪತ್ತಿಯಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಕಳಚಿ ಬೀಳುವಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ದೇವನು ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕೆಂದು ಎತ್ತಿಕೊಂಡ. Currently, this he talks about the dedication, how these things we are going to talk about from the point of days of changes which you are discuss in maybe Devaloka irbodu, Manavaloka irbodu, Martyaloka irbodu. He talks about Valavu mattu Vishwasa. He talks about the and also care for sharing our values. And he also discussed ಲೇಸನ್ ಎನ್ನಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು 5 ದಿನ ಬದುಕಿದರೆ ಏನು, ಲೇಸನ್ ಎನ್ನುಕೊಂಡು 4 ದಿನ ಬದುಕಿದರೆ ಏನು, ಲೇಸನ್ 3 ದಿನ ಬದುಕಿದರೆ ಏನು, ಲೇಸನ್ ಎನ್ನಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು 2 ದಿನ ಬದುಕಿದರೆ ಏನು, ಜೀವಿತಂ ಶಿವಭಕ್ತನ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಎನ್ನಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು 5 ದಿನ ಬೇಡ, 4 ಬೇಡ, 3 ದಿನ ಹೋಗಲಿ 2 ದಿನ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಭಕ್ತಿನವಾಗಿ ಬದುಕುವುದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಶಿವಭಕ್ತಿ 5 ದಿನ ಬದುಕಿದ್ರು ಸಾಕು ಎಂಬ ವಚನವನ್ನು about in the Anubhava Mandapa going to take place. It's already discussed, and this is of the reason which is going to take. And Suresh sir, time unmute ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, unmute ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Unmute.
Am I audible, sir?
ನಂದು ಟೈಮ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್. Am I audible now? Sir.
Yes sir, yes sir.
Sir, first question is, in the present age of rapid changes that are happening, do you see the relevance of Basava's vachanas with particular reference to job hopping, I mean attrition on the part of youths in the private sector? A continuation of that, do you have any specific message to the youths, present day youths?
Sir, respected sir, the present day is strong man creates opportunity, weak man waits for opportunity. Present day man, job hopping, job attrition is one of the very important problem. Maybe once we say human wants are unlimited in nature. The new challenges, new opportunities, and new technology, new engagement, new collaboration, new accountability, new exploration, new responsibility, leadership, new problem solving, all are becoming the problem of in the present youths. And youths want to change the profession from one profession to another profession, job attrition, maybe a family problem, maybe other thing. What Basava says, get the good practice wherever you get the good ethics you are going to work. So when we are going to learn the good ethics, maybe permitted to change the profession, yes, and until you become to existing organization, don't go for becoming one more liability to some other organization. You become asset for X and asset for Y also.
Thank you, sir. Sir, another question. Preach and practice were perfectly synchronizing with Basaveshwara, but personalities of such glory are seldom found in the present era. Is that a sign of onset of materialism here in this part of the continent also?
This is one of the very introspection question for everybody also. This is the introspection question for me. ಕಾಯಕವೇ ಕೈಲಾಸ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಕಾಯಕವೇ ಆಯಾಸ ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ರಾತ್ರಿ ರಾಜೇಂದ್ರ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವ್ರನ್ನು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಬ್ರು ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಂಟೆಂಪ್ರರಿ ಐಕಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಬಸವೇಶ್ವರ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಆಗಲಿ, ಶಿವರಾತ್ರಿ ರಾಜೇಂದ್ರ ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ಐಕಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಬಸವೇಶ್ವರ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ self introspection, we must learn values. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಸಾಲದು. ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ವಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅನ್ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ introspection is required for our family, for our group, society, for our environment, for our being. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ನಾನು think about negative about Suresh, my brain is going to develop negative hormones, create tension in my mind. Happy in college also, in university also, I'm not happy in the class. Self introspection, you should avoid your deeds, avoid your wants, then we'll be happy. Because when we are going to this, the wealth distributing equally. Wealth is not distributing equally. It is self introspection, sharp distinction between good people and excellent people. And when we are going to talk about principle based on profitability, we should think about values, individual value, parents' value, societal value, organizational value. That we can conclude.
Yes, sir. Sir, another question. With all noble concepts introduced by Basaveshwara and all other Vachanakaras and later other social reformers after 12th century, how can we portray our Indian philosophy at the international level at this point? And given the situation where there is a Western dominance, can we again reach the glory with all Indian philosophies of the olden days also?
But he says these vachanas, when we are going to translate other languages during those days, our entire world become followers of the Basaveshwara. In this regard, Basava Kendra of Bangalore, leadership of Arvind Jatti, also JSS Mutt, Siddhganga Mutt, and other mutts are doing a yeoman for the popularism of the philosophy. And this is the Gnana Varidi, Gnana Samudra. What these things is going to take place. Maybe a time will come for following Basaveshwara Vachana. Narendra Modi has said, for a of the country, Basaveshwara to come, or when we are going to become the understanding of the Basaveshwara, it is going to become an aspect. Maybe in the recent days, when 4 years back, I went 3 years back and went to London, so many people will statue in London, and they will sit and they will go. They will both in Kannada and English, understand, and they will go. This we popularize in the years to come. We pray to Almighty to give this occasion as early as possible.
Thank you, sir. ಈಗ ದಿವ್ಯ ಸಾನ್ನಿಧ್ಯವನ್ನು ದಯಪಾಲಿಸಿದ ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ
ನಾನು ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. Once again, I am grateful to the authorities of the JSS Mutt and my embodiment of love, my response to Swamiji and the people who are involved directly, including Mahesh, Swami, Suresh, and all other people in this. I am very grateful forever. I think this opportunity is one of the in my last breath of this my life. Thank you once again to all. I am also grateful for this opportunity. Thank you, everybody.
ದಿವ್ಯ ಸಾನ್ನಿಧ್ಯವನ್ನು ದಯಪಾಲಿಸಿದ ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಜಗದ್ಗುರುಗಳು ಅವರಿಗೆ, ಹರಗುರು ಚರಮೂರ್ತಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ನೀಡಿದ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಮಾಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಉತ್ತರವನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪಿ ಪರಮಶಿವಯ್ಯ ರವರಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಮುಂದಿನ ಜ್ಞಾನವಾರಿಧಿಯ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರು ಹಾಗೂ ವಿಷಯ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ. ಜ್ಞಾನವಾರಿಧಿ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ 64, 21 ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿ 2022. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ MS ವಿಶ್ವೇಶ್ವರರವರು, ಮುಖ್ಯ ವಿಕಿರಣ ಆಂಕಾಲಜಿಸ್ಟ್, ಭಾರತ್ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಂಕಾಲಜಿ, ಮೈಸೂರು. ವಿಷಯ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ರೋಗ ಪತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆ, ನಿನ್ನೆ, ಇಂದು ಮತ್ತು ನಾಳೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವಂದನೆ.